Nice to see you all here. Hello, welcome. Thank you for saying hello there in the chat. Hi, Susan and Julie and Sid and Mary from Chicago. It's nice also when you write where you're from, because it's amazing to see that we're all from all around the world. And hi, Artis and Diane. Hi, Sue and Kate and Kathy, Pam and Sarah from Kentucky. Got Kathy from Scotland. Welcome. It's really good to see you here. So if you haven't already, find the chat box, because we're going to be using that quite a bit for today's workshop. So this way we can talk. So make sure you see where that chat box is and say where you're joining in from. And I can see we have some new people visiting here and also some members. So if you're a member, say hello by finding the little heart. Send me a heart so I can see the members who are here. Hi, Sharon and Joanne and Teresa from Napa, Siobhan from Oregon, Sherry from Toronto, Sharon from Seattle. And I just saw Sue, one of my neighbours, Sue's mentioned, is it snowing at our place? Well, we're here in the South Island of New Zealand. There's no snow on the ground, and I can't quite see the mountains yet because they're covered in cloud, but I'm pretty sure it is snow because it is so cold. And I know over the other side of the world, there's a lot of hot weather at the moment, so we're definitely on opposites. Welcome. Look at all these lovely hearts coming in to say hello. And you can scroll through the chat as well and see where people are joining from. So we'll use that chat box throughout today. Hi, everyone. So good to have you. We're going to do a workshop today all about posture. And actually, I have some slides to show you. Let me show you what we'll do today. Today, we are going to do 4 things. So we'll talk about why posture matters. And I think it's always important, you might be surprised at how posture can help us in lots of different ways. So we'll just run through why posture is so important and why it's worth investing some time into correcting posture. I'm going to go through some common poor posture habits that I see all the time and how we can correct them. So we'll go through those, poor posture habits, and you can sort of run a little checklist and see how you feel within yourself. Then I'm going to take you through 4 mini routines that we'll do together, and I'll give you the notes on these later. So this will go into the My Pilates Time membership, and if you're not a member yet, I will send you the notes anyway, so you can follow those and do them again. So no need to write down the steps. I've got that for you, and then we'll have a chat at the end. How does that sound? Oh, good. Everyone's found the chat box. I love that. And I thought we might just start with a story. One of my posture dilemmas I had once. So, I remember my son is 19 now. And when he was born, he was a wee little thing. He was such a tiny little kid. And he loved to be held all the time. And because he was so tiny, it was no problem for me just to perch him on my hip and just do everything with one hand. It was just easier. He was so light and so little, it was easy. And we lived in Australia, when he was born. Everyone used to call him my koala because he was just perched on me like a little koala, and it was cute. So I could clean the house, I could put the washing on, I could cook the dinner, I could do everything with one hand. But you know what happened? I ended up kicking my hip out, and I just was in that shape way too much. And the problem with posture is when you come towards an imbalance, it can lead to an injury, and that's what happened. So I remember one day after playgroup, I had Kelsey and Ben. Actually, Kelsey's here today. You can say hi to her. She is in her little house nearby, but she's helping me with the messages. So I had the 2 of them in the car after playgroup, and I was lifting the big double pram into the back of the car, and they were heavy back in those days, not light like they are now. And I leaned forward to put it in, and I just felt this horrible pain in my back, on one side of my back. like a pinching, a very sharp pain, and I just froze, and I just thought, oh, what am I going to do? I've got the 2 kids in the car and I'm just can't move. But that was before my Pilates days. And then, moving forward, at the time, I didn't know what to do to fix that issue. But once I started Pilates years later, that imbalance was still there. And I always dealt with this pain in my back. I was always cautious, always guarding it, because it was like my weak point. It was something that I knew just wasn't secure. And then as time went on and I kept practicing through realignment through Pilates, I don't feel that anymore, because I've shifted and I've realigned that imbalance. But it didn't happen overnight. It was something that I had to work on. But even 20 years later, I think this is an encouraging point, 20 years older, and I feel stronger now than I did then in my back. And you have a similar story that you can relate to, whether it was an injury and then you end up nursing that injury, which causes some other kind of problem. And it's super common. So we just, it's just a readjustment all the time. And these little resets I'll teach you today are like that, just resets. I also think, when I think about resetting posture, I always think it's a bit like cleaning my house. If you do it every week, it's no trouble, It can be done, sorted out, things put away, floors done, bathrooms done, it's no big deal. But if you leave the house, 4 months without cleaning it, you've got a task on your hands. It's a bigger job. It's going to take more energy. It's going to take more time. It's hard work. And that's how I see it with your body as well. It's just something that I think will be good for you too, is just to do these little resets regularly, so you don't end up with a major imbalance that can cause an injury or cause discomfort or muscle tension. So just put a yes in the chat if you can relate to that kind of story. Maybe you've had an injury in the past, or you also held one of your brothers like I did, or something that just caused you to feel wonky for a while until you had to reset. Angela relates, Esther, Donna, all of you. Yeah, I think, and when I teach Pilates, the thing is, I don't recognize anyone that's just like, oh, perfectly balanced on either side. There's always something, no matter how old or young, we've all got something that's happened. And yeah. Tony held twins, one on each hip. Oh gosh, that would have been very skillful, amazing. Okay. So when we have good posture, of course, we've got less strain on our joints, because when we are aligned well, the joints move properly. The tendons, you're not leaning into one side of a joint where tendons are pulled, muscles are tight. The joint works well. So the more we correct our posture, our joints feel better. Of course, we have reduced muscle tension and fatigue. You can imagine, have you been at your desk maybe working or sewing for a day and you end up with your head forward? I catch myself all the time, especially if I'm really deep in work mode and I'm concentrating hard. I end up like this at the computer, head poking forward. And it causes strain on your neck, because there's more, your neck muscles have to hold your head in a position it's not supposed to be held like that. So we have less neck pain or strain, fewer headaches. Our spine is healthier when we are upright, and good posture doesn't mean rigid, of course. We need movement, and there is a curve of the spine. But when our spine is healthy and our posture is good, the distribution of force through our spine is even. So what that means is, if there's a part of my back which is really stuck, then often it's the upper back, could be really rigid, so it's very hard to move. Then when I do have to twist, bend over, pick something up, then the part of my back that can move, say towards the lower back, that's got to take all the weight. But if I can move evenly through the whole spine, that force is distributed and it's even. Not one part of my back has to do all the effort. That's when we can have an injury. Aligning your posture is really good for your mindset, positive state of mind, increased energy. Of course, if we're not tired holding our body up, we have more energy and increased confidence. Who knows, when you set your posture up well, I often do this before I teach a class, get my shoulders away from my ears, because an outward posture gives me confidence on the inside as well. If I'm like this, it's a timid kind of posture, and I feel that on the inside as well. So if I let my shoulders drop down, an outward posture affects how I feel on the inside as well. Sitting up straight, having length in your body can help with our digestion, getting our breathing better. You know, we can move our lungs, we can breathe better. And this is a really important one, is when our posture is aligned well, we can activate muscle groups better in our workouts. And who knows, if you've been with me in Pilates for a little while, you'll know that I always talk about, let's get the form right first and then we'll add the weights. Because when we're aligned well, we can switch on the right muscles. No point trying to do lots of sit-ups if we're just pulling into our neck and our core doesn't work. So it's better to get the alignment correct, and then when we do our exercises, they really count. So if I just go back to that list, out of that list here, which would be your top priority at the moment? So you could have a look at that list. So is it about you want joint health? Is it that you want to release tension? Is it about reversing a rounded shape, which I didn't put on there too, so you can add that in. So changing the shape of your body, that's fine to write that as well. So I'd just love to know if you could pick one. If you could pick one thing there, what would be something you would like to work on, your main priority? And I think it changes too over time. You know, sometimes you might be thinking, right, I really want my joints are feeling stiff. I want to work on that. So Jennifer says neck pain. Angela, healthy spine. Cindy, joints, less neck pain, stop feeling hunched. Kim says energy, changing the shape of your body. Yep. Fewer headaches. Yeah. We're going to do a head, neck and shoulder movement in a moment. That's going to help. Lots of healthy spine. That's good. Reduce muscle tension and increased energy. Better digestion. Yep. Less back pain. Yeah. Yeah, it's really great to see your priorities. Yeah, it's great. Avoiding tension and related pain. Yeah, I hear what you're saying there. Okay, so let's go into a few things. I'm going to get you up and moving in a second, but we can do it from a seated position. That's why I'm not really in my Pilates clothes today. It's a normal top. Yeah, thank you for sharing. This helps me, you know, like when I know what you need, I can give you movements that will help you with that. Low backs, hips and knees, strain on joints, healthier spine and posture. Yeah. Okay, that's so good. Increased energy, fatigue, yeah. I hope that when you try these exercises today, I want this to be interactive when we start moving, because I can show you all day, do this, do that, but unless you actually experience it and feel it within yourself, you won't know how good just a little movement could be. So we'll all do these exercises together, and we're going to be on our chair doing them, and one session will be standing. Yeah. So let me just show you here. When I teach people Pilates, these are the things I see most commonly. And you can go through this list and see which ones maybe what you need to work on. So I often see people leaning on one leg, shoulders rounding forward, head forward, one shoulder higher than the other, a pelvis that sways forward, or an increased curve in the low back. So I'm going to talk to you about leaning on one leg, which of course is what I did when I had Ben. Okay, and I'm up and down, so I want to just jump up and show you. And maybe you could stand up and try this too. So here I was, so holding Ben, and often if I'm chatting to a friend, I end up just like this. Can you just stand up and see which leg you just like to put your weight on, okay? And often if I'm at the supermarket or something, I find myself just here I am, just all the weight into one leg, kicked my hip out, just hanging out there. Now, here's the funny thing. If you're here, lean on the other side and see how weird that feels. Doesn't that feel awkward? So you can see easily which side is your comfy side to go to. And if you go over to the other side, it feels so odd. So that's why you know you have a tendency to go to one side. Now, one little trick is when you're in the supermarket and you're standing in line, you've got your basket or the trolley and you end up leaning onto that one leg. What I do when I'm at the supermarket waiting to be served is I just put myself evenly on both feet. So feeling that weight down. So that's one little thing to think of next time you go to the shops. Stand evenly, so stand upright. The other thing we had there was shoulders rounding forward, which is another really common issue. So when we stand up and we just have our arms beside us, your hand should be sort of midline of your thigh there when your arms just drop down. You know you've got a bit of a rounded shape if your arm is more forward. Also, if the thumb points towards your thigh, but inward, right? So you can see I bring my arm forward, my thumb points in. So just stand normally, just check. You can just see where you are. Okay, so your thumb should be pointing forward. If it goes in, if your arm rolls in, that's where we get the rounded shape, okay? So one little thing I do to correct that is I just sort of turn my palms this way, reach my arms back a little bit, organize myself so I'm in a good posture, and then I see if I can keep my shoulders right where they are, and then just turn my hand in, but I haven't brought my arm round as well. So here, you could just pull back, okay, and then see if you can hold the shoulders back and down, and just turn your palm in. So that's just a little thing you could do. You can feel your upper back working, maybe even the back of the arms, and you can just see how you go holding that. The other posture problem I see, head pokes forward. Oh, here we are at our desk. I sometimes catch myself in my window reflection, and when I'm doing that, I think of putting my back on the back of the chair again, and I think of tucking my chin, not jamming it in, but just toward the throat a little bit so the back of the neck feels longer, and I let my shoulders drop down. And then it can be an adjustment with, if you do work at a desk, of where to put the screen. Sometimes I prop up my computer on little books so that it's more upright and I don't have to come forward. Even with my eyesight's okay with my glasses, I still come forward because it's almost like a concentration thing, isn't it? The other problem I see is, let's talk about the pelvis. We've talked about shoulders and neck. And I mean, with pelvis issues, they're complicated. There's lots of different things that could be. I'm just going to talk about two common positions. All right. So with a pelvis that sways forward, this is where the hips are here. Okay. You might see some people just like to stand like this. It's just more natural for them, okay? So this means the tailbone's sort of tucked under. There's not much connection here at the front. I'm just sort of letting it sort of hang down, and you see what can happen with the head as well. Yeah. This is where the weight is sort of into my toes a little bit. So if that's more like your natural position, maybe I'm exaggerating it just to show you, but what you could do is think of weighting to the heels and then stick your bottom out a little bit, okay? And for that correction. The other way is to have an over-exaggerated curve in the low back, which looks like this. So it's like this, okay? So this shape here actually hurts me to do, right? And this means at the front of the hips, these hip flexors here, you can see how shortened they are, how tight. So if this is more your natural shape and you do feel pain there in the low back, what we need to do is lengthen here at the front and strengthen the glutes and the hamstrings. All right? So that's why when we work in Pilates, we work the whole body as a system. So we work on strengthening and lengthening different muscles so that they work together to hold you well. So it's no point sometimes just having a neck issue and going, right, well, I've got to do neck exercises. Because often it's the shoulders that need strengthening. Often it's the muscles between the shoulder blades that need strengthening, and the pecs here that need lengthening or stretching. So it's all this connection, right? And that's why when you follow a plan that has a well-rounded whole body approach, that's when we have the best chance of realigning. Does that make sense? You ready to go into our mini routines? So the first one we'll do seated. So you can stay right where you are. And let me just show you what I will send you later. You don't need to read it all now. But we've got this. So we'll do a head and neck routine. And I just wrote down the exercises there. We'll do a seated posture one. We'll do a broomstick one. And we'll do a standing balance. I hope we have time to go through them all, but we'll see how we go, right? Okay. So the first one is our head and neck. All right, so I'm just going to wriggle back a little bit so you can see me. And now just sit on your chair and we'll do it together. All right, remember, we'll do this together. I want you to do this because you won't feel how good it is. It just looks like little movements, but that's the whole point. We want these big muscles here to let go and relax. And we want to wake up those little muscles that are going to help align our head and make us feel lighter and give us that mental clarity. When our head pokes forward, here's an interesting fact. The spinal cord goes up through the neck, obviously, into the brain. When our head's forward, that's compressed and it's the blood flow is restricted. So bringing our head back in alignment helps us have oxygen and blood to the brain. Really important. Okay, so we'll just start like this. And remember I said often head and neck problems can stem from shoulders. So I always start with the shoulders first if someone says they've got a sore neck. Fingers here behind your ears, up straight. So sit yourself up, lift up the ribs. Start like this. So I just want you to feel that you can move from your shoulder blades or your scapula. They go broad and then they slip together. Okay. That's the way. So just keep doing that. Keep going. If you do have any really serious neck issues, you know, that's where you do need to see a specialist. But these are just general moves if you have general tightness or soreness, okay? And you never push into any pain. Here. Just go here and back. So I'm just pulling my elbows back, feeling the shoulder blades come towards my spine, and then they get broad. So with your neck or any movement, don't go to where it hurts, all right? You know your own body better than I do over the screen. And the thing I want to see is you just take control of yourself. I can guide you and facilitate all the movements to help you heal, but you do it yourself. Okay. And that will do. And then we're going to find some little bones behind the back of from our ear hole. You go back behind. Find two little bones there on the side of your head. Right, if you imagine a line between those two bones, this is where the head pivots from. And I just want you to press into those little bones there. See, it's near where my glasses goes. And then I'm just going to pivot on that point. So nice and easy up and down. Okay, so when I do neck exercises, you want to keep your jaw easy, your teeth apart. That's the way. So when I just tuck the chin slightly, the back of the neck feels long. And I'm not going too far. Good. And then just come back to look at me nice and square. Walk your fingers in a little space and give yourself a little massage. Just 2 fingers in, little circles. Circles round, press firmly, and then just go round the other way. This way. Just nice deep breaths. Calm and soft. And then hands down. Let your arms just drop beside you rather than hold them in your lap. And just look over one shoulder. Back to me. Look the other way. Now remember to keep your teeth apart, your shoulders soft and down. So while I'm moving my head, my shoulders haven't moved with me. I haven't twisted my back to the side. I'm just looking to the side. Really just a functional movement, isn't it? Looking to the side. I always think of driving the car, to peep over your shoulder. Okay. Back, and then we're going to go ear to shoulder. Now hold it there. The opposite hand. So you feel a stretch down the side neck. You're just going to go up and down. And again, so it's not painful. Lifting the arm. Feeling the stretch on the side of your neck. So knowing where to feel something helps too, doesn't it? And then what you could do is just turn like you wanted to look under your arm. Okay, hold it there. Now you feel the stretch wiggle round to the back of your neck. Right? More towards the back, but still on the side. And then here, you're just going to do a little nod up and down, ever so gently. These are nice, very gentle movements to do after you've had a busy or stressful day, even after you've been sick, you just feel like you're all tensed up. So just gently, gently. So tiny, we're waking up those little muscles, letting the big muscles go. And then you're going to just turn your chin, roll it round to the center of your chest. Now you feel a stretch at the back of your neck. And just imagine that you've got someone's got you by the back of the ears, and they're pulling your ears back as you stack up your spine, your neck bones, and let's let your head rest there on top of your head. Okay, and then we just go the other way. So we go ear to shoulder, relax your jaw, and then here. So just feel that stretch on the side of your neck. You know, we're going slowly with these moves, but, you know, all up, these moves will only be a 5-minute little routine that you can do. Just to make sure your head and neck are in alignment. A lot of you said that was a priority for you. And then just let your arm go. So turn your head like you're going to look down under your arm. Okay. You could just leave it there, or you can just move a little up and down, a little nod. Okay, that's nice. And then you just bring your chin round to the front of the chest. Sort of tuck the chin in towards the throat, like it's almost buttoned in but not jamming in. And then stack the bones of your neck back up and just float your head up. So it almost feels like the side of your neck is nice and long. Okay, your shoulders will feel that as well. One arm's going to go up. If it doesn't go all the way up here without your shoulder coming, just go to a little more forward and go to where you can. And I want you to look to the down arm, and then you bring your arms back to here. One arm up, one arm down, and just look to the down and back. And look to the down arm and back. Just peek down to your feet. That's it. Good. We'll do one more on each side. Good. And back. And down. Hands are going to just be beside you if you can, rather than in your lap. Just let your arms dangle. Okay, let your shoulders drop away from your ears. Imagine a little bit of chalk on the tip of your nose. And I want you just to do a little circle. I sometimes do this with eyes closed. But make it really small and make it really smooth. If it goes a bit more like a square, or you get stuck in one point, just bring it back to being smaller. And you're again just going to go nice and smooth with your breath. And then round the other way. You can experiment. If it feels okay, you can go a little bit bigger with your circle, tip of the nose. Okay, good. Back to being even, and blink your eyes open. If you are sitting on the lounge or a chair that you can sort of push your hands back, I want you to push your hands back into the bottom of the chair there, and lift up your eyes, lift up your nose, lift up your chin, lift up your chest. So you've gone into a little arch in the upper back. And then just let your chest drop down, your sternum, your chin, your nose, and your eyes look forward. So we follow eyes, nose, chin, chest, push the arms back into the chair, and then release that push and let your chest drop, your chin, your nose, your eyes. And again, eyes lift up, chest lifts up, push back, and then just let everything soften and then look forward again. Good. And that's that little routine done. How did that feel? How about we do a traffic light system as a little feedback? So green, orange, I want you to tell me green, orange, or red. So green was, oh yeah, I definitely felt that. Maybe you feel like your head's lighter, maybe longer on the neck. So if that felt that something was really worked for you, just write green in the chat. If it was, yeah, that was kind of good. Yeah, I felt that somewhat. Put in orange. If it wasn't, you know, didn't feel too much different, you can say red. That's all right, because we all need different things. So let's have a look. Lots of greens. Good. Yeah, it's amazing, isn't it? Green, 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 green. Yay. Well done. So I'll give you those notes and you can do them again. You could even put on some quiet music and just give it a little bit longer. I did it fairly fast, but I would do double that time. So when you're here, you're going to take longer. Orange, green. Yeah. Okay, good. So take a little bit longer. This is just a quick little experiment to show you. Yeah. And like I said, some we all have different exercises we love more, and it's because of what our body needs or likes, you know, and I think that's the good thing about showing all these different Pilates moves is, yeah, we can all take something. You know, with our head and neck, one interesting thing I wanted to share was, you know, if you had a bowling ball and you held it by your chest, you could sort of hold it for a while. It's heavy, but you could hold it. If you had to hold it, your bowling ball out like this, you wouldn't last very long because it's so heavy. Yeah. Our head is actually quite heavy too. And every inch our head goes forward, it doubles the weight that our neck has to hold. So making sure we keep the length of the back of the neck, our head right on top of our neck, aligned, makes a big difference. Our neck muscles don't have to work so hard. All right, what's the next one we should do? How about we work on the spine, because a lot of you said that was a priority for you. Okay, so I'm going to use a broomstick, all right? If you don't, you can just put your hands on your knees and I can show you. But if you do have a broomstick, you want to go and grab it. And I'll wriggle back. So here we go. So we're going to move the spine. So I'll go sometimes facing you, sometimes to the side. First of all, we'll go facing you and we'll hold our broomstick here. So if you haven't got a broomstick, go grab it. Hopefully you can unwind the mop part or the broom part. Okay. So take your time, get settled. We're just going to hold it here. And I just want you to take a little lift and lift up out of your waist. Drop your shoulders down. Yeah, and then just bring it back and up and back and up. Okay, good. We'll add a little side bend. So here you are. We're just going to go over. So I almost feel like this side lifts up and my broom goes on a little diagonal and come back and down. And the other side, we come up. We're going to drop the shoulders and up. So one side of me gets longer. Yeah, up and down. So even though I go to the side, a trick is to try and keep sitting really square. So your sit bones are anchored down on the chest. So you have it tipped over on one side of you. So just open up that side of your body. Come back, down. Last one. And over. And back. And down. Good. Pop the pole behind you if you have space. Okay, just hold it like this. We're going to do a little rotation, a very small, slight little bend to the side and a little twist. Again, my knees are not going with me, okay? So have a quick look where they are, nice and even, just spiraling through the spine. In My Pilates Time, we have lots and lots of ladies with osteoporosis. So twisting is something that can be done with gentleness and not too much. So if you have osteoporosis, you don't want to push into a great big twist here, okay? So sit nice and tall and slightly look on a diagonal that way, right? We don't push into a deep twist. It's not good for your back. The other thing you avoid if you have osteoporosis is a forward bend, and I'll show you how we can change it in some of the next movements. Okay, come back. Good. Put the pole right in the middle of your feet and put your legs a little bit wider. Hold on to the pole. Then I want you just to tip the pole forward and hinge your back forward. Okay, and then just come straight back. So we're just tipping the body forward and coming back. So if you have osteoporosis, That's what I want you to do. Otherwise, we're going to do this. Have a quick look first and then copy. So we nod the head, round forward. My back's in rounding. And then I'm going to look up the pole, get a nice extension, and then I'm going to tip back. So again, let's do it together. Nod the head, round forward. Look up the pole, let your chest lift up the pole. As you sort of push down with your hands, your shoulders will drop down, and then you hinge back and up. Again, we're moving through the spine, round. Your eyes look up, your chest looks up, and then you tip back. Do another one. And then you can reverse that. So you can tip forward, and then you can look down and stack your spine up from a rounded shape. You can have a look first and see how it looks, which is just like a tip. And then I look to the bottom, to my feet, and I pull the tummy back, and I roll up through my back. So just this feels nice. Okay, good. Sit up tall. Then with your feet wide, we're just going, everyone can do this. We're just going to go around and stir a big cauldron. So that's it. Keep coming. Feels good. Big sweep around. See if you can pin your broom down. That's it. So if you have osteoporosis, it's just a matter of not coming here to a rounded shape. You just stay flat back all the time. So you hinge forward. See how my chest is staying up? Otherwise, if you want to round your back, you get to here and it comes rounded, and then you sit back up, right? Go the other way. There's just little adjustments you can make to make your back, you know, in the most optimal position for you. That's round. It feels nice, even down into the side here. Okay, good. And walk those legs in. Then we'll just, actually, I don't know. I think that will do us for that one. Otherwise, we won't get through everything. So come back to your computer, put your broom away. What color are you? Red, green, orange. That was, again, just a quick one, but interesting, that movement through your back. It needs that movement through your spine, just almost flowy kind of movement. Feels nice, doesn't it? Sharon said orange, Therese green, Sarah green. And again, like I would double that time. If you're doing that on your own, do 10 minutes of those moves. Will do wonders for your back. Yeah, so good. Lots of greens. Good, good. Good on you. There's always a bit of a delay when I wait for your answers. That's all. I can see them coming in now. Yeah, Susan orange, Sid green, Maria green. Okay, good. Have you got a little towel handy? I want you just to fold up your little towel. Even if you had a little cushion, I want you to sit like this, and I want you to sit on top. This one is a seated alignment with some nice breath. So you sit on top of your little towel. I've got a firm chair, and it does help. If you're on a soft lounge or something, you won't get the same feeling. But if you are sitting somewhere soft, you can try it on a firm chair later on even. All right, sit up tall. I wriggle and try and get my sit bones on top of that towel. So you can feel the little bones underneath the pelvis. Okay, I'm good. Now we're going to just tip the pelvis forward so it feels like my sit bones have gone off the back, and then I'm going to roll through like I'm going to point my sit bones forward, and then I'll go that way. Takes a little adjustment, but once you've got it, and that way. So I was doing this the other day at my desk, practicing to explain it to you. Bye, Lorna. But yeah, Mike came and he's like, what are you doing? I'm like, this is very good for your pelvic floor and your core, and it's going to help us connect and feel grounded, this one. So we just forward and back. That's it. And now what we'll do is we're going to just wriggle the towel to one side, one cheek. So one, you're sort of sitting a little lopsided. So sit yourself up. So one bottom is sort of like hovering, and one is on the, one sit bone's on the towel. And then you just going to let the side that's hovering just drop down, and then you're going to lift it back up. It just drop down. So I know you can't see, but it's not much to see. It's just a little drop and then up. So I'm just dropping down onto my chair and then back up. Keep going. So I'm just sitting on one side. One side's got the towel, and then I'm just, yeah. That's it. So just like drop off and then lift it back up. Then just drop off and back up. And again, the longer you do this, the more impact the feeling will be once we get off the towel, and you'll feel your pelvis. The idea is that your pelvis will be grounded, and you can build up your posture from that grounded feeling. Okay, and then off, come on to the other side. Okay, and drop down, up. That's it. I hope you've got the movement. Sometimes it just takes a little bit of fiddling around to make sure you can feel it. So that should do. And then I want you to take the towel out and just notice yourself sitting there. So what I hope you feel is that you sort of feel like a real heaviness, like almost like the pelvis is broad, that you feel wide, that the base of you feels wide. And then we're going to add some breath. So I want you to breathe down into the pelvis. So when you breathe in, you're going to put your hands here and breathe in. And then when you breathe out, the diaphragm comes up under the ribs. So you breathe in, the belly expands, and you almost breathe down into that big, broad base you've just created. And then exhale, diaphragm comes up, you feel a little lift. Inhale, sink. Exhale, feel the diaphragm, dome up, and this connection through your waist. Inhale, opening, broad, drop down, don't hold yourself up, feel heavy, weighted, and then exhale. Maybe it does feel a little lift. Inhale, drop down, and exhale. We'll just do a little breath pattern. So we're going to inhale for 4. In, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold. In. and out. Hold, in, out. Good. And then just let your breath come and go. So I still feel my sit bones there on my chair. Okay, so give me a color, red, orange, or green. If you ever have moments where you need to find that groundedness, a minute of breathing like that will be amazing. 1 minute, if you can, 2 minutes, only 2 minutes out of your day, and you can just zone in, feel your body. When you get connected within your body and you're aware of, if you come into your body, it gets you out of your mind that might be feeling worried or anxious or apprehensive. So the more you can zone in, everything else can just go away for a minute. It makes you feel calm, and then you can carry on. But we need resets all the time. Oh, Sue's having trouble with the connection. I'm sorry, Sue. Wonder what's happening with the internet. Margaret said one side was weaker than the other. Yes, that's absolutely true. When we talk about the pelvic floor, it's when we drop down one side to the other, that's where there can be imbalance, because one side might feel tighter and one side weaker, looser with the muscles. So it's about bringing that balance. That would be a good one for you to practice. And the side that feels stiff or stuck, you could just keep working on that. Yeah, lots of greens, couple of oranges. Good job, everyone. Do you know, I think we might leave the standing one today because I'm not sure we'll have time. But I'll send you the notes anyway, and hopefully you can do the standing one, which is more about adjusting the pelvis and getting your pelvis to sit right on top of those femur bones so that you're weighted evenly and you can sort of lift up out of the ankle, out of the knee, out of the hip, and then create a really good standing posture. Because we have different postures for, we have a seated posture that's well aligned, a standing posture, even a sleeping posture can all affect how our body feels. So I know that many of you mentioned at the start of the class that you'd really like to learn exercises to help you with your muscle tension, to release that neck issue, and to get your spine moving. I think they were the two main ones. And that's where the My Pilates Time membership really comes in, because we can work on the whole body. And as I said, it's not just going, okay, I've got neck I need to fix, but it's really like, right, well, let's work on the shoulder mobility. Let's work on, and often, a problem with the lower back or the hip, it can be like an effect of having our feet. We can work through our feet, knees, and hips, because we're all connected. And if you're not already a member and you'd like me to help you do this, then I'd love to invite you to join us and join the membership. So I'll get Kelsey, she's here, still here on the chat. She's just going to put the link up to join. And if you would like me to keep working with you with these things, then I'd love to have you join. If you have questions, thank you, Angela. She said she loves being a member. Then you can write it in the chat, because I'll stay around for a few minutes now and answer your questions. But if you do decide to join today, then I'm going to send you a journal, and it's an online journal that you will print. It has everything you need to really help set your habits up for My Pilates Time. And the other thing I'm going to open up for you if you join today is, so I'll give you 24 hours and you'll get that journal. And I'm also going to open up the mini series bundle for you, which will have a series on mobility and morning stretches. So the members have been working through that, and you'll have access to that as well. So I think that would be really valuable for you also. So how you become a member is Kelsey's just put the chat, the link to join at the top here. And all you need to do is click on that, and you can choose whether it's monthly or annually To join the membership for a month, it's $25 a month and it's a subscription, but there's no lock-in contract. So you can, if you change your mind, you can cancel. And then to purchase the membership for a year, it's $250 for the whole year. And you know what? I always, coming back to that metaphor about the housework, if I didn't clean my house for a year, it's going to be a task and a hard job to sort of come to and deal with. And I think it's like that with our health and our movement. So doing a little something each week just means it's no big deal. We can just realign and set ourselves up and keep moving on. But if we leave it for another year, the job is just a whole lot harder and a bigger task. And I think doing something a little bit each week means that you sort of set yourself up for the future, making sure your joints are moving well, making sure that we all have imbalances, and that's where we get issues, injury, pain. But if we can adjust those imbalances and address them all the time, then we have less likely of having injury. We're more balanced. So one of the things we focus on in My Pilates Time is balance. So we're more steady on our feet. And we also focus on strength because, like I said, sometimes posture imbalances, it's not just about making ourselves put ourselves in that correct position. It's about stretching muscles that are maybe too tight and strengthening the ones that have become a little weaker just because of that imbalance. Just like I had to recorrect my posture and work on my core strength and my glute strength to stand evenly again. It's just knowing what to do. And when you do, I was just saying goodbye to some of the members who are leaving. Bye. When you do enroll and join up, the first thing we'll get you started on is a bundle within the membership called the Fast Track Guide to Success. And that's 10 foundational classes that will really set a good foundation. And if you can work through those 10 classes, they're only short within the first 2 to 3 weeks, then by the end of the first month, by the end of August, we'll get you into your weekly workout plan. And that way we can look at the whole body as a whole. And I think you'll really enjoy it. Yeah, we'd love to have you. And Diane says, it's great being a member, very flexible and easy to fit into your week. Yeah, thank you for that, Diane. I think that's what we all need, isn't it? We don't often have a full hour or longer to go somewhere, do a full hour class. It's time consuming, but just little things like you've experienced today can really help. So the link's there, and I'll also send it to you on email. But like I said, get started in the next in this day, 24 hours, and I'll send you that special journal as well, because it'll really help you set up these new habits if you want to get started. I'm here to help. Thank you for your messages. You're welcome, everyone. Thanks for coming. I also enjoyed talking posture with you. You'll be all aligned, whether you're off to bed or ready to start your day. And, if you are thinking of joining, another thing which I haven't announced publicly yet, but midway through August, My Pilates Time, the price is going up. So if you are on the fence or you're thinking about, maybe I should join, maybe I shouldn't, then I would encourage you just to make that decision, that call today, because the price today, $25 a month or $250 for a year, you'll keep on that price. So all the members here, you'll see the price rise, but that won't affect you. You stay on the rate that you are on now. So if you are thinking of joining, then you should jump in now before the price rise. And Sue said she just joined for a month to give it a try. That's a perfect idea. So make sure, Sue, that we get you into the Fast Track Guide to Success, which is right at the top of the membership when you log in. So the membership's a special website that you log into. There's recorded classes, and then there's also live classes that you can join to if the time suits. Okay, but the live classes are over Zoom, so I can see you face to face, and it's really nice. You can meet the other ladies in the membership too. So if you have a question, pop it in, and I'll answer your questions. Kelsey has just grabbed the questions for me, put them over here. And a question from Sharon. You're not sure how to access the library of classes in the membership? Let me just write that your name here, Sharon, your last name as well. And I will get one of our team to send you a video explanation. Oh, I should say also, if you are thinking of joining, you join today, and then at the end of the week, I'm running an orientation call. So you'll be able to come to a call, and I'll walk you through all of that. So Sharon, I'll give you the link for that and the time for that, so that you can come along, and I'll just walk you through exactly how to log in, so you don't feel overwhelmed, you don't feel confused, and it's very clear. All right, and that's welcome to all members as well, of course. So join today, and then you'll be able to log in, and you'll see the calendar, you'll see that orientation call, and then it's just a matter of clicking on that link. It will already be in your time zone. It just figures it out, and you can come along, and I'll just walk you through exactly how to get started, so that you can start feeling really positive and excited about this. Diane said to explain the membership. Yeah. I will. So I'll come back to that, Diane. A question from Donna. We have 24 hours to join. You can join whenever you like. If you join within the next 24 hours, I'll also give you the bonus journal that you print out, and it's got, all my notes about and my ideas to help you get started in a really, positive way. Is a debit card safe? Great question, Anne. So we use industry standard payment gateways. We haven't had any issues with credit card problems. There's also a choice you can choose to pay with PayPal. So you can choose PayPal or credit card. And yeah, you can feel confident joining. We have thousands of ladies in the membership, and we haven't had any issues. So I feel very confident, and I made sure that the systems we're using are as secure as possible. And if anyone ever has an issue, you just email us straight away, and we can help you sort anything out. But yeah, don't feel worried about that. And Margaret said, can I have an orientation too? She's been feeling a little unmotivated. Yeah. Okay. That's great, Margaret. Yes, come to the orientation call. You'll see it there in our live class calendar. You can click on that. It's just in our Zoom link. And come along. Let me tell you, I've got a good plan for you, Margaret, we might put you into that fast track guide and just re-spark that motivation. It's always just about coming back to it, isn't it? It's like cleaning the house. You just got to keep coming back, and week to week, it's like, oh, I've got to do it again. And you do, and then you'll get that fresh spark of motivation. It feels so good, You've got in there, you've got things, you feel better, and yeah, we'll help you. Sharon, the current price is, the price rise is going to be going up midway through August, so you have time to think about it. But it's really good value, the membership, because if you went to an in-person class, you would pay between $25 and $100 for one in-person class in Pilates. But for $25, you get everything for a whole month. And that's a weekly workout plan. So every week I give you a class for every day. So you get a new class every day. You pick and choose. You can do a class every day if you want, or you can just choose which ones you'll do. You also can come to live classes, 2 or 3 live classes each week with me as well. So it's amazing value when you look at it like that. And such an important investment for your health and your future. keeping your body moving. And it can be done in a nice, easy, fun, relaxed way. Here at My Pilates Time, it's not, it's not stressful. The classes are enjoyable and friendly. And I hope that after every class you do, you leave feeling good about yourself because you can do them. And even though you can do all the moves, you still notice a little challenge and you notice your muscles. Like after the class I taught the other day, anyone else feel the back of their arms? I think it was we were doing some planks. And I'm like, yeah, that's good. I feel like I've worked. And that's what we want to. We want to see a difference. And I want you to notice your progression. Thank you, Catherine. I'm just looking at the messages. Diane, if you're still there, let me show you the membership so that you can see what it's like. If you have to go now, because I know we've been over the hour, so I knew I had a lot to go through today, but if you need to go, I hope to see you again soon. And if you would like to stay, then I'm just going to show Diane and anyone else what it looks like inside the membership so you get a good idea of what it's like. Because if you showed that these classes felt good, you gave me some greens today, you want to invest for your future, then I really do think you should join. I think this will be a good fit for you. And I think you'll find it valuable for yourself. So I'm just going to share my screen. And that way you can see what it's like on the inside of the membership. So it's, like I said, it's a special website and you log in with a password. Can you see it now? Yeah, okay. So this is what it looks like when you log into the membership. See, this is the first part here, the fast track guide. That's what you click on for your 10 foundational classes. Can you see the screen moving if I move it? Yep. Okay. And then this is our weekly workout plan. So after you've done the first 10 classes here, then you come each week, I put a different class in for each day of the week. So every week is a different series of 7 classes. But like I said, they're well-rounded, so we make sure we don't just focus on the same body part. We do the whole body because we work as a system. And when we work the body as a system, it functions better. Okay, so these are our classes, and it's just a matter of clicking on it and clicking play. And you can see some are longer, some are shorter. And, you don't have to do a class every day, but if you did 2 or 3 a week, you will see a difference. And you can read the descriptions and choose what you feel like each week as well. Then as you come down, this is our calendar I've been talking about. So you can see here, this was today's class, and here is our orientation call, which is later in the week. You can see this is for me in New Zealand time, but wherever you are in the world, it will just change it, and that will be for your time zone. Okay, and all you do when you want to join the call is you click on it and click on that, and then I'll be there. That's all you do. And then these are all our categories. And in these categories, there's hundreds of classes, but I don't want you to get overwhelmed. So I'll just show you one. Have a look at the categories. So all our live classes are recorded and they go here. We have osteoporosis safe classes here. If you wanted to work with a broomstick, you click on that. If you want to work with weights, you click on that. If you want to work with a chair, you click on that. So it's categorized in a way that should work for you. If you want to do full body, you just click on that box, and then there will be a multitude of classes that you can choose from. See? And you just pick and choose what you feel like. So on the orientation call, I'll go through and explain it in more detail to make sure that you don't feel overwhelmed by the whole thing. But that's just a quick glance at what it's like. So Kelsey's put the link up there to join. You can join any time, but if you join in the next 24 hours, you will get the mini courses, which is the morning stretches and the mobility class and the special journal, which I'll email you separately as a special gift, just to say welcome. Now, I'm just going to quickly check any questions because I make sure I don't miss anyone. Question from Arlene. Do weekly classes stay available after the first post in the event? Yeah, they're there the whole week. So you log in and you do the classes whenever it suits you. Yeah, it's always open. So they're just recorded and they're there. The live classes, of course, you come if it suits. So I hope looking at the membership gave you a bit of an idea. Question from Diane. Will this class be posted in the membership? You had internet issues too. Yep. Yeah, I'll record it. It's recorded, so I'll post it in the tutorial section. Tidy it up a little bit and post it. And Diane said, how long do the classes last? So live classes with me are 40 minutes long because I reckon you can do a lot in 40 minutes, plenty of time if we don't chat too much. And then a lot of the classes are just 15 and 20 minutes because, again, I think if you did that, it's more important to be consistent than go for an hour. I think it's more important to do 3 20-minute sessions a week than 1 hour. I really do. Okay, I think we're done. I think that's all the questions. Thank you for coming to class. It was really great to have you here, especially, for members who came along and also if it was your first time. So I'm looking forward to keeping going with you. I'll send you the replay and the link to join if you didn't click on it now. But